I'm originally from Lunenburg, so the next town over. I was born in 1977, so I'm 39. And my parents, actually I was born at Burbank Hospital while it was still there. And my mom was a nurse and my dad was a carpenter for Pelletier construction. So, and so that's about it. I have one brother and I have 5 nieces. So that's about me personally, I guess. Well, when I was in high school, I went to Lunenburg High School. I was kind of struggling a little bit, didn't really know what I wanted to do, didn't see where I was going in the next 5 years. No road was really all that apparent. So took a half-year class in photography when I was a junior, and then just kind of fell in love with it. My dad had an old camera that he got when he was in the Army, and I started off with that and just kind of, I was really excited by the stuff I could do in the darkroom, and I was out on different adventures and just seeing how, how meeting different people and interacting with them a little bit. And so I just kind of I fell in love with it then. And then my senior year took an independent study in photography. So I basically had almost a year to just kind of explore. So I went into Boston and went down to New York and just kind of hung around, and I figured, well, this is what I'm going to do. And that was 20 years ago. Well, when I was in college, I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. So I have a 2-year degree from the Art Institute of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. And my second year, when I was there, I went on a 3-week trip down to Mississippi. I was a big blues music fan and like roots of American music kind of fan. So I got permission, sort of permission from my professors to take some extra time off, and basically just drove down to Mississippi and drove around for 3 weeks. And I was 19 at the time, and was sneaking into clubs and photographing musicians and guitar players, and just meeting a lot of interesting people. So that, at 19 years old, you're from a kid from Massachusetts down to Mississippi, and like, okay, I got to make something happen. I got to get over this fear of talking to people and just have at it. And it was a really rewarding trip, and I really felt like an actual photographer, like a National Geographic photographer, a photojournalist, when I was just kind of on my own as a relatively young person, meeting people. Went out on a catfishing boat with these 2 old farmers. It was a great experience, and it taught me not to be afraid of anybody, and afraid to talk to somebody, and that was key. And that's kind of helped me make progress and say, well, this person is just a person, so I can just talk to them, and it's been really helpful. That was probably the biggest first experience I had. It kind of changes from time to time. If I find something new that's really helpful for my work, I'll kind of use that quite a bit. But recently, Aubuchon Hardware has become a client of mine. So we're shooting photos for their new website and doing all sorts of different locations. We've been up in New York for them, and what I'm using for them is a really simple, it's called a prime lens. So it's not a zoom lens, it's a prime lens. It's a 35mm lens, which it's a medium wide angle lens. So in order to get a shot of somebody, you got to move in kind of close, but doesn't distort things, kind of like a fisheye. So it wouldn't be your normal portrait lens, but it's a really simple lens. So having a prime lens and not being able to zoom means you have to move. You have to kind of move yourself and get in a position that way. And so far, I don't know, the last six months, that's been my favorite piece of equipment. Get out and then come back. There's a whole other world out there, and you can, in your town, downtown, you can take the train into Boston. There's free museums. You can see other things. You can listen to music. You can go see this and that. Go out, have experiences, meet new people, come back home, and then go out again, then come back. This is a great base, but there's a whole other world out there that is a lot more interesting than just your small town or small city. Pittsburgh's a great place. There are interesting, important things happening, but there's a whole other world out there that's got some cool stuff in it.